had a very inspiring story from Mrs. Rekha Shetty, Zonal Commissioner, and it brought tears into our eyes because her experience from the time she was a child and how she is today, at what level she is today, is really admirable. And today we also have Akshita with us, as well as me, Mrs. Crasta. And we would like to share some of our experiences, something that touched our life when we were small, when we grew up, so that it can inspire a child, an adult who's going through a tough time. I feel that this time, 2026, is very tough for a lot of women. They're going through marital discord, or might have gone through abuse as a child. Or their parents are not loving them. So I reach out to the child who's now going through something there, because I worked with child abuse. That was 25 years back. I was the founder of a trust called Little Flowers Charitable Trust. We had a professional team from Roshni Nilaya, Mrs. Ramila Shekhar, Miss Marilu, Dr. Uday Shetty, Dr. Prabha. We had Asha Naik, the lawyer, because we had to go and talk to all the schools and colleges about child abuse. Now, child abuse is a topic which means a lot to me, because I cannot see a child crying and a child being abused day in and day out in a house, sometimes by a father, sometimes by a grandfather, a cousin, a relative, a brother. See, these are very sensitive issues, and I was not allowed to speak in schools and colleges because they told me you cannot touch such a sensitive topic. But I'm talking to the children out there. There is a good touch and a bad touch, something that you all have to know. A good touch is something that you feel right, something that doesn't go to your sensitive parts and it doesn't go to your private parts. But the good touch is from a father or a mother who really loves and takes care of you. And you need to know the difference between this. And this is why I started the Little Flowers Charitable Institution. And we reached out to so many schools, colleges, and all over South Canada, because Mr. I.G. Bosley at that time wrote a letter into all the newspapers saying that you must allow Mrs. Crasta to come into any institution to speak about de-addiction with the professional team, and even Manipal. We went to Manipal, Nitte, and even all the head of colleges, the institutions, they allowed us in. And we spoke about each issue, bringing about education and awareness to these children, teens. And I saw so many children addicted to drugs. And that they needed a de-addiction center in Mangalore, which was like, there was only one called Link Trada. And that too also from Roshni, there were a lot of counselors. But this thing has to be targeted where counselors are there in every school. I have also spoken to the DDPI, I spoke to all the people in high authority. And I want to reach out to the authority in Mangalore now. So if you can bring in the counseling centers to deal with phobias, anxiety, depression. There's a lot of things happening with suicide. And children, adults, older people who are suiciding because they have a social stigma and they do not want to go to a doctor. Now, when you are sick with fever, you will go to a physical doctor, but a physician, a general physician. But when it's something to do with mental health, you have a social stigma saying, what will people talk about me if I share something to the psychiatrist or the psychologist? Will they share it with other members? So that fear later leads on to depression, and depression sometimes leads on to a suicide and sometimes to a sad note called death, which is not needed. You have counselors, and we are also going to come up with a project with Mrs. Rekha Shetty as Zonal Commissioner called Mental Health Awareness. It's a nature walk where we enlighten children to come with us for 30 minutes and we take them through the nature, where we will be talking to them how to deal with phobias, might be exam phobia, anxiety, menopause symptoms. Now, a lot of staff in offices, in colleges, schools are going through menopause, and they have this is like a very sad thing for women because the spouse doesn't understand the wife, the children don't understand the mother, and they get irritated and they abuse the child mother, and the mother doesn't know what she's going through. So we want to bring this out to you children as well as the spouses. Please understand your wife, understand your mother, understand your daughter, understand your mother-in-law, because she's going through something that she also cannot understand what she's going through, and we need you to support her. And ladies who are going through menopause, talk to a counselor, talk to someone who will help you out. Go for naturopathy, where they will give you supplements to adjust with whatever you're feeling low with. And do not think that life is over. Life is not over for you. You are going to get over what you're going through. But you need friends, you need family, you need therapy, you need a counselor. And that's what we are trying to bring out this time. And with Mrs. Rekha Shetty's guidance, as well as my co-committee, that is Mrs. Vinita Rai, Mrs. Tina Pereira, Miss Karen Dias, and Mrs. Akshita Shetty, we will be going through these projects. Now, another thing that really touches my heart is the stray animals. These stray animals, when I was going through a very tough time and I had, nobody to talk to, I just adopted a pet. And that pet changed my life. When I was going through like a dark time, or I was going through anxiety, or going through anything that went through in my life, the pet gave me unconditional love. The stray, the Indian dog, which is a very strong, faithful animal, which you hit, you throw acid, you tie crackers to their tails, you beat them up mercilessly, and you throw them out on the streets. I feel that you need to change this because these pets are therapy for you as well as your family. They can bring about a big change in your life. And you adopt an Indian dog, adopt an Indian cat, adopt these desi, whatever we call them, because these foreign pets, you buy them for your ego, but you really don't care for them. You put them in a cage or you chain them, and they are suffering. They are not criminals, they are living creatures with feelings, with emotions. And so you need to change the way you treat your pet. Make a balcony or a shed where these pets can roam around freely. Give them the love that they need. They just need a pat on the head, a little brushing, and a little playtime. And give them freedom. I also request the authorities again, because you cannot cage animals in the zoo, especially what the zoo that we are having in Mangalore. You need to set them free because they are in bad condition, and we have got a lot of information that they are going through a tough time there in the zoo. Leave them, set them free, and let them be in animal sanctuaries. Open up bird sanctuaries where you grow a fruit trees, have lakes, have ponds, and let the birds come back to Mangalore too. And then the other topic that it really touches my heart, which has also changed me a lot, is personal communication between one another. It is very, very important in a family. Now, when we sit together for dinner, everyone will be on the mobile. The mobile addiction is the worst. It has come into Mangalore, it has come into every city and into the world. You will not see anybody really talking to one another. They come for a dinner, they come for an event, they come, but they will be chatting or talking on the phone. And to you, young children, get into sports, get into gym workouts, get into walking, get into nature, and you will improve whatever condition you are in. You will not get addicted to drugs because there are two choices. One is the wrong choice, one is the right choice. Today, I'm talking to you. You make that right choice. Even if a friend gives you a cigarette, or he gives you a drink, or he gives you a drug, say no. We need to learn to say no. No to the wrong and yes to the right. So, my thing to you is, even I've gone through very difficult times, but I've come out, you know, more cheerful, more happy, because I spend my time helping others, whether it's a living creature, the trees, or it's human beings. And you need to smile. And when you give, be a cheerful giver. Give from the heart. Whatever you want to give from the heart. And I thank you, listeners, and I thank you, Mr. Paul, for giving me this opportunity.